Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just. And this be our motto, in God is our trust.
Francis Scott Key was born on his family's estate near Frederick, Maryland in 1779 to a distinguished family of patriots and lawyers. When he was 10 years old, little Frankie, as he was called, was sent to Belvoir, a quaint brick mansion 6 miles outside Annapolis. Key's grandmother, Anne Arnold Ross Key, had been born to wealthy English parents and early in life developed a strong will and inspiring determination. When her family home caught fire, a youthful Anne raced into the burning building, attempting to save 2 of the servants. Thick, toxic smoke and searing heat scorched her vision. She emerged from the wreckage, totally blind. Anne's courage and faith never faltered in the long life that followed, and as young Frankie sat reading to her in the hard-polished wood parlor at Belvoir, he couldn't help but be influenced by her incredible resolve and devotion to God. If a woman who lost her sight can still see the purpose in life, Key must have contemplated, then perhaps the power of faith is a force worth exploring. Over the next 7 years, young Frankie received an excellent religious as well as liberal education. At St. John's College in Annapolis, he studied Latin, Greek, mathematics, and navigation. But his special interest was poetry, and throughout his life, Key would use his natural gift to court lovers, celebrate friendships, and express a deeply felt religion. Key became a successful lawyer and developed a strict devotion to the church. He conducted family prayer twice a day, taught Sunday school, and wrote an essay examining the connection of literature to religion. He even considered entering the ministry. But by 1814, the War of 1812 had reached its climax. The British destroyed Washington, leaving the capital in flames as they drove north, threatening the port city of Baltimore. When his friend, the eminent physician William Beanes, was captured for imprisoning 3 of His Majesty's soldiers, Key and a prisoner exchange agent were sent to negotiate Beanes' release. Under a flag of truce, Key and the agent, Colonel John Skinner, met the British fleet in the Chesapeake Bay, near the mouth of the Potomac. The negotiation was successful. The British agreed to release Dr. Beanes, but they did not permit the negotiating party to leave. The fleet was preparing an attack on Fort McHenry, a tiny star-shaped fort protecting Baltimore. Key, Skinner, and Beanes were confined to their sloop under the guard of a frigate. In the early twilight of September 13th, in the midst of a torrential rainstorm, the mighty English fleet opened fire on the much smaller American fortress. From over the ramparts, Key watched helplessly as a deadly shower of rockets and bombs, some weighing as much as 200 pounds, exploded in and about and above the fort. Just before dawn on the morning of the 14th, the shelling stopped. Key and his friends waited anxiously for daybreak to tell the fate of the fort. Dawn's early light revealed a marvelous sight, broad stripes and bright stars streaming gallantly in the wet air through the smoke of the aftermath. Our flag was still there, Key would later write. The Americans had triumphed. In this moment of excitement, Francis Scott Key wrote down his immediate impression of what he saw and what he felt. It was spontaneous and from the heart. He titled the piece, Defense of Fort McHenry. The country would come to know it as the Star-Spangled Banner. Following the war, Key continued a successful career in law and was appointed district attorney in Washington. In January of 1843, despite being troubled by a sore throat, Key, now in his 64th year, took a business trip to Baltimore. At his daughter's house, his sore throat developed into pleurisy, which quickly advanced to pneumonia. Francis Scott Key died on January 11, 1843, leaving behind his wife, 8 of 11 children, and a poetic account of history that would unite his country in song.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming? And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.